Well, good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get into some topics today. I was booted out of Western Standard. I'm not allowed to comment anymore. So we're going to get into a lot of things that politicians don't want you all to know. It's critical knowledge. You should very much share this video. You're going to get it straight. We're going to get into Canada, its regions, the provinces and territories, what they are, how they operate, specifically your rights, all of your rights that seemingly are not enshrined. And you're all learning that. You're questioning it. People are messaging me. I saw the border of Ontario to Manitoba, the crossing. Thank you for those who shared that. It's important. It's nice to see the live video. We're going to go into oaths and the civil society. You'll never find another Canadian who's done as much work on the civil society as I have. I've even taught a class on it. Many Albertans out west have taken that class. They know exactly what I'm talking about, but it hasn't reached the masses. People are out there trying to educate, but I'm going to give you all today a great in-depth on that, how that's going to help you and how you can change Canada for the better and all the provinces for the better. This is knowledge that every Canadian must know because it's the truth. And if we don't face the truth, how do we ever rectify what's broken? If we're going to live a lie, how do we fix what's broken? The truth is you can't. And if you don't look at what the problems are, how do you come up with a solution? So beginning in this, Canada, the province and territories, which are regions. That's what the world says are regions. You get UN nation states. That's your federal government. They're in charge of international relations. This is generally accepted of every country in the world. Many of the countries in the world have sub-regions, like provinces, territories, states. There's all kinds of names for these regions. Some are even called just regions. So, what is it? What's with these regions and the countries, and what does that mean for your rights? Canadians, unlike many nations in the world, you don't have to fight for your rights. They don't. You do. Politicians will tell you, elect me. Give me money in Canada. I'm a political party, and I will fight for your rights. You're from a select group who has supposed to be enshrined charter rights, and in provinces you have civil rights that the province has for you. They tell you, elect me, and those promised rights, I will fight for them. Whoever pays me the most money, I will fight for your specific rights. Forget the rest. How is that possible? How is that possible when we have a charter of rights enshrined federally, promised to each and every one of you, so you don't have to fight for your rights? Why is it in our Canadian Constitution all civil rights are handed over to the provinces and territories? Why do you have to pay a politician to fight for your civil rights? Why do organizations in civil society tell you, pay me money, donate to me, and I will educate people on your specific civil rights or your specific charter rights, and we will get a political party to fight for them? Why do we do it, Canadians? Because your Constitution gives the power, the ultimate authority over your rights to the politicians. None of it is enshrined, not whatsoever, for you, the people. You're not even in the Canadian Constitution. Neither are the First Peoples in Canada. You're not in the codified Constitution. People try to argue with me. They say, Oh no, they're listed, or we're listed in the Charter. The Charter? Sure, the Charter is a set of rights and freedoms. There's even supremacy of God there. There's even First Nations and the people of Canada. However, that's not promised to you. The codified Constitution of Canada, which holds that, says no, there is no we the people. There is no you. There's no Canadians. There's not even Canada. The Constitution gives that power to Her Majesty, which is your politicians. They decide your charter. The Constitution promises all your civil rights to the provincial politicians whom you elect. They decide and deem what rights you will have. You will forever pay them, try to get a loud enough voice to give you these various rights and freedoms. They won't give them to you unless you give them money. And unfortunately, Canadians, when we get into civil societies and the rest of it that attach to the politicians, you don't have enough money to donate to the politicians so that they can provide your rights, so they can fight for those rights that are supposed to be enshrined. You have to pay them to do that for you. Because if you don't, a foreign interest, foreign companies, foreign nationals, multinationals, the list goes on, will pay your politicians to fight for their rights against you. That is Canada. That is absolutely the regions. Again, there are no constitutions whatsoever for accountability, rules of governance, how to govern, the enshrinement of your God-given rights, supremacy of God, meaning all men and women are not to be held above any other man or woman. There's a supremacy of God. That's up to each of you to define. That's what you find in your heart. That's what's supposed to be promised you. But that's not there. In its place is supremacy of the politician. Her Majesty, that is your divinity. You give your divinity to Her Majesty, which is your politician. It's been that way since 1952. You elect every 4 years, provincially, territorially, or for your country, politicians you hope will win to fight for your rights if you give them enough money. There's not enough money in the entire amount of Canadian tax or donation to fight for your rights. The world has too much influence, too much money, and there are too many multinational foreign interests that can buy your politicians, buying your civil and charter rights, and sometimes buying away your human rights. That's the truth. This is the great education that must be shared. And it's up to all of you, because there are no organizations, no out west organizations that ever want to take away Her Majesty, the absolute power of the politician. They all fight for it. That's the system. And it's what brings me in to the next portion, the oath of civil society. To begin with, Canadians, do you know what the civil society is? This is the civil law of Canada. Do you know what it is? Well, I'm going to tell you what civil society is. Civil society is all of those class of citizens that are attached to your government. Further, they've sworn an oath of allegiance. An oath of allegiance. And right now, for all of your pleasure, we're going to go in to the civil society step by step, and the oath, the sworn oath of these Canadian individuals that swear against all of you, giving their life, their promise eternal to something else. And I promise you all right now, that is not Canadian citizens. None whatsoever. I have military people who come on. They say, Oh no, don't listen to Dave. We're for Canada. Oh, we love Canada. We sing the national anthem. We're in the military. We fight for your freedoms. That's what they say they swear to. Unfortunately, that's not the oath they take. It's not where they sign their name on the dotted line. They recite, swearing often on a holy Bible. All civil society, meaning everybody who works for government at some level, swears an oath of allegiance to Her Majesty, to a foreign nation, not to Canada. Our military most definitely does not. Not one serviceman or woman in the history of Canada has ever sworn their life and their soul and their sovereignty, has ever sworn it to Canada. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but the oath of allegiance is to Her Majesty, is to a foreign nation. Canada is not there. It is absolutely to the politician. And what do the politicians give our fine service individuals for their oath? They absolutely give them the shaft. They hire foreigners to take over in our military. They're busy recruiting foreign nationals to enlist in our military. They devalue and defunct the military. They don't keep up with international treaties or obligations. We're growing further and further away from NATO, NORAD, and absolutely the UN peacekeeping. We're almost kicked out. I know Canadians are told the UN's evil, it's bad. It's not. It's your politicians rogue in the UN who are bad. Canada is one of the leading rogue UN nations against our allies from World War II. All military service personnel who are government employees, part of the civil society, absolutely swear an oath of allegiance to Her Majesty over Canada. There is no, like America has an oath too, but they swear that they will defend the people of America. We the people. That's the oath of a military service person in the United States, and to the Constitution of the United States, and to the liberties of all the people, that they will fight and defend the nation of America. That's the oath of the military in the United States. That's not the oath in Canada. Not even close. Not even close. We can continue. All lawyers swear a variation of the oath. Absolutely nothing to do with you, the people. Absolute Her Majesty. Absolutely to a foreign ideology, a foreign country. This goes on and on for absolutely all your politicians, including Privy Council, all of your House MPs, all of your provincial legislature MLAs, absolutely all your premiers of the territories and provinces, and then so is it all lieutenant governors, absolutely all justices in Canada, and it goes on and on and on. There's very little to anything to do with we the people, any kind of supremacy or equality of the people, supremacy of God. There's none of that. Absolutely zero. The supremacy is in your politicians. Absolute. Not you, the people. You don't exist. This is Canada. This is what you all must get out and share. You elect every 4 years civil servants that you've given your divinity to. Further, they tell you, pay me and I will fight for your rights that are supposed to be promised, but will never codify that in any kind of constitution. When a political party, for the rest of your lives, Canadians, if you're going to do anything for anyone in this world, do any real justice. It's not about me. Do this for your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. Tell them about the oaths of allegiance. Tell them how they are not enshrined in their very own constitution. Their country is not enshrined in any rules of governance or how to govern. It is absolutely foreign sovereignty, absolutely divinity of a human being. No supremacy of God, whichever you wish to believe. Your choice, but you give supremacy to a first-class citizen over every aspect of your life, and they decide what rights and freedoms you have, charter and civil. We can only get them and teach them a lesson when they breach human rights, because that is international treaty. The world is growing past this. Canada is not. You only win court cases absolutely and predictably when it's over human rights protected in a treaty from none other than the UN. That is the only time you, the people in Canada, win anything. Other than that, politicians arbitrarily, federally, provincially, and territorially decide how those rights will be administered to you in charter and civil any time they like, and there's nothing you can do about it except for hope to elect another politician who promises you rights. However, because there's no accountability, no rules of governance or how to govern, because you have zero constitutions in any province or territory and a very, very limited federal constitution that allows tremendous power to a very select few who get to decide what those rights and freedoms are for all of you. You must pay them, and it's not enough. Because when you can't pay them enough, even though they took all your money and they promised you all these rights they were going to fight for, when a foreign power comes along with more money, or a multinational, or another special interest that has nothing to do with your country, they will take that money and they will give your rights and freedoms to absolutely that power. This is Canada. It has always been this way, and only by the grace of religion, really honestly, religion and how strong that was in Christian principles is what protected it. But that's evaporating. As we see churches under assault, we see those institutions disappearing, as are unions and other enshrined rights, as the politicians continually crush all of your civil, charter, and sometimes overlapping human rights until they get caught. They will continue to crush them until you have none left, and you're a walking zombie, slave to the crown, as was and has always been the problem with constitutional monarchies. There's only one way out, and it's constitutionalism. It's getting the strength of the people to bring forward the CCP, Canadian Constitutionalist Party. Until the party promises you, the people, absolute rules of governance, accountability, and how to govern, you're going to lose everything. You're going to lose all your money, your value, and politicians are going to get fatter and richer while you go down the toilet. This is what's happening in Canada. You all feel it. You all see it. For all the Ontarians who are watching the video of the RV person who crosses the border and all the checkpoints and the police, you can't stop, you can't pull over, you can't do anything. You can only drive through Ontario. That's all you can do. If you stay over, you'll be locked away for 14 days in isolation. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're doing this all over Canada at higher and different levels. They fear the public. Don't worry, trust us. Our institution is great, wonderful. We continue mass migration, international travel, unlimited, even though that is the number one source of contagion. It's the number one source of where all the variants come from. It's why there's a term called variant, because it came from another country. It came on an airplane. It didn't boat over here. It didn't drive across the water. It flew on an airplane. They fly. And all these countries are jumping queue. Hong Kong, we see South America. All these people They're flooding the immigration. They have a target this year of 400,000. No other country in the world's doing that. But Canada is. The planes still go. They're still bringing people in, as many as they can. By a foreign power, by another foreign country. We're the dumping ground, regardless of the health. And then they blame all of you, which gives them more excuses to steal more civil and charter rights. The premiers are all in league with the federal party. Everybody has a crown. They're all going, hey, this is great. I can literally rape, pillage, and plunder my people, take away all their civil and charter rights, and many are championing me to do it. And all the money is flying out the door to foreign multinationals. Who's making all the money? It's not Canadians. Canadians are borrow, while your politicians give it to all the foreign multinationals who are making record profits never seen in the entire world's history. The longer they keep COVID going, the sooner you'll all be bankrupted. That's reality. That's Canada. That's your weak constitutional monarchy. And all parties are in on it. There are only 2 acts provincially and all territories that govern political parties. There are only 2 bills that govern all federal parties federally. I know them all off by heart, Canadians. There are no rules. It is absolute autocracy. There are 4 federally, and then there are 3 positions provincially that run everything in every party. You, the people, aren't there, I'm telling you. You're not there. Your politicians don't have to tell you the truth. They're allowed to lie to you at will. There's no accountability. Treason. There's treason in countries like Russia. There's treason in countries like USA against the politicians. That's called codified constitutional powers. For you, the people. That doesn't exist in Canada. There is no treason. That's called great job, politician, on the foreign stage. Great job. Keep taking more. Soon we'll have wasted those people. And then we will take over. That's reality. Believe it, don't believe it, but all you have to do is read your Canadian Constitution, grab any civil society, meaning a member of government, read their oath. They're all there. You're not there. You, the people, are not there. The oath is foreign. The oath is not Canadian. Or the oath might be the Canadian Constitution, which again gives away all your sovereignty. You have none. No, we the people. There's nobody swearing any oath to you the people. Serve and protect, that's not the oath. That's not the Constitution either. These are realities Canadians need to know. Share this critical video. It's important. No media is going to help you. These independent medias, they're all in bed with the same political parties. And when you bring forward the truths and it doesn't fit their narrative of give me, donate, pay for me, and I will fight for your rights. That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. You know, so I never say, give me money, help me, gimme, and I'll give to you. No. It's the right thing to do. Constitutionalism has to be done. This was done in the United States of America. We can all wait. For things to get so very bad that we're in revolution mode. But by then it's likely the country is devastated, the likes of a Venezuela, where there is no recovery. And it's not going to change. No political party, one's out west, or people talking independence, until they are talking constitutionalism, they're only going for the crown themselves. They're only going for the absolute autocracy, and they only promise to make you fight for those rights. Absolutely pay and fight for the rights. That's all they're going to give you. And likely, long before there's any independence or some Western narrative, they're going to sell out. As has every single political party in that narrative before them. Go look. Alliance, Reform, the list goes on and on. On and on. Not one of them has ever stayed true to the word. Not one of them who's demanded so much in donations from all of you, swearing they were going to do all this. We are going to make this for you. That's not the Constitution. And when the money, the bigger bulk of money came, and the promises of even more wealth, they not only took all your money and then threw away everything they promised you, they went the other way. That's the sad reality. Over and over. History after history. You can look it up. Every province, every region, every territory. Where's PQ these days? Parti Québécois. Oh, they're silent. They're paid to be silent. Many parties do this. They'll sit there and they won't act because someone's pulling on the strings. Somebody's funding them against all of you. There's only one truth going out today, and you're hearing it right now. This is the only truth for you, the people. And you notice how I don't say, give me money, help me, pay me. I work for a living. I work my way across Canada. And I'll continue to work, and I'll continue to tell you all the truth. It's not about me. It's about you. My wealth isn't going to go up. My life's already mostly been lived. All I have left now is what is left for my children. What's left for them? What will my grandchildren face? I won't give up. I will fight hard for all of you, and I will continue. I'm going to take this month now to make big money at a big cost, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it all for you. And that's just how life works. That's the third-class citizen. We all understand that very well. But you won't find that in your dirty, filthy politicians. Nope. Not a vast majority of them. And when you do find it in them, they're never going to be a privy council member. They're never going to be in a ministry or in a cabinet. And then you should all look at who's appointed. When your politicians you elect, and they take those that you threw out of office and they appoint them to government positions so that they're ruling over you anyway. There is no ever really getting rid of any of the filth. You never really do, because politicians will appoint those people to keep positions over you. You may have unelected them, but they've been appointed to ministries, to cabinet positions, to government key positions to force their will upon you. They're here forever. They never go away. Same with all the civil societies they registered and brought forward. The government bloat expands. The demands of you, the people, grow higher and higher year after year. Things get harder and harder. Things cost more and more because your value is going down, down, down. Bye now. That's my video. It was long. It was important. Share, share, share. Get it out there. It's all for you.